Alrighty, today we are installing a whole new steering column on an 86 Mustang GT. It should be the same for all Foxes from 79 to 93, something like that. So here we go. Alright, so the first thing that I like to do is you go down in here and you get this bolt out of the steering shaft. This one right here. It's a 5/8 and 11/16, and you can churn the wheel in order to get the bolt like this. You just move the wheel left or right depending on what you need, so then you can get at the bolt easily. Alright, now you can take out these screws that have this shroud plastic bolted in and start disconnecting all the wires. To get this bottom piece out, sometimes you need to push up on this and kind of finagle it, but you just kind of yank them off. And now we got access to all the wires, and we're just going to start unplugging them all. Alright, so I got all the wires disconnected. It was really a pain in the ass, especially this top one up here and the bottom one of the same size, so just take your time so you don't break it, but it is a pain, or at least it was for me, but I got it. Struggled for a while, but I got it. And then now we're going to go underneath here and start unbolting it from the inside down here. Alright, so here's a look at the bolts. We got one here, one here, one here, and one here. And then it should be loose. The hood thing comes off with these other ones. They're 9/16, and they're pretty easy to get out. Alright, so we got it all unbolted. It's just resting here on the seat. The only place it's still connected is inside the engine bay, where we took that bolt out earlier. So this is where it helps to have two people, because one person can sit in the car here and kind of pull the wheel out through the firewall, and the other person can hit the knuckle with a hammer and kind of help send it out. Especially if your car's rusty, it'll be kind of tricky. Alright, I'm by myself, so let's see if I can just slide it out, if it's going to be that easy or if it's going to challenge me. Let's see. Yeah, looks like I need to go in there and tap it, break it loose. So let's go do that. Alright, so there we are. There's where we removed the bolt before. And now I'm just going to take this and hit it right here. And right there, it should start breaking loose, and then we'll be able to slide it out. Okay, we are really close. I think I can pull it out by hand now. Really, really close. And we got it. And it should just slip out through the firewall. Voila! The old column is out. Alright, so we got the old column out. We're ready to put the new one in. Just going back to some proper hydration techniques here. I recommend Busch Light. Keeps them moving good. Keeps the muscles loose. Gives you a little bit more added torque for wrenching. Yeah, I mean, this should be fun working on your FoxBody. Not a chore. No swearing going into this job. Alright, so I'm actually going back in time here. This is the one that was in the car. This is the one I'm going to put in. The cruise control is broken on this one. Pretty much all the electronics. The key didn't work. It's all jammed up. So we're putting in this one from the 85. Should work great. And then one thing to take note of that's really screwed me over the first time I did this, and that I wish I would have known, is that this right here slides in and out. Okay, so I would always measure it and make sure that this one is the same as the old one, the same length, because I put one in here and this was extended out a little bit longer, and it just was a pain in the ass. I couldn't figure it out. I thought it was the wrong size column. I was about to bring it back, all this shit, and then found out that all I have to do is hit this with a hammer a little bit and it goes into the right length and everything will line up perfectly. So just make sure that this shaft, that they're the same, and that all these pieces measure out to be the same distance. Save you a lot of time installing. And the other thing too is that this, at the end of this, has a notch. So you can see this side is flat here, this side has a groove here. So remember that too when you go to put it in the knuckle. Alright, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean out the inside of this shaft a little bit. Maybe Scotch-Brite it a tad, but just to make sure it's clean, and it should slide easier then when we insert the other piece inside of it. And we're going to grease it up to both ends, so then just make it easier. Should slide in a lot better. Alright, so I got the new New steering wheel post going through the firewall. And you can see now this is where the groove is right here. So we need to line it up with the groove that's on this side. So how we'll do that is just turn the wheel a little bit, well, it'll be clockwise. Turn it clockwise just a little bit, it should line up better. And then we'll slide her in. Alright, so I was able to get that piece slid in there. It was super easy with all the grease, and it could have been because mine was apart recently. But slid right in, got the bolt in, and then I'm going to tighten it up right now so I don't forget. And then we're done in this engine bay. And we'll move on into the inside where we'll connect all the wires and bolt it up, and we're pretty much done. Alright, so we got the wheel sitting here. It's connected in the engine bay, and now we're just gonna bolt up all of these. These should line up because we measured the right distance, and so we'll do those. I'm just gonna leave everything loose and then start connecting all these wires so I still have a little bit more room, and I'll figure out the routing, and then I'll bolt it up the rest of the way. Alright, so I got those back 2 bolts in. These are lined up now, and we're just going to start connecting up all these wires and make sure the routing is good, and that's what it's all about. Alright, so we got it all bolted up now. I got our hood piece back on there. All the wires are connected, it's in place, looks good. All that's left is just this kick panel and the shroud. That's pretty self-explanatory, so I'd say we're done here. Let her rip.